now, let's join ace broadcaster Mamode Akuga as he takes us inside the Niger Delta.
Hello out there and welcome to the program. It's Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region. I am Mamode Akuga. Oil-rich River State in the Niger Delta looks like a battlefield for the All Progressives Congress APC and the People's Democratic Party PDP as the 2019 general elections get underway in the next few days. The spate of insecurity occasioned by frequent attacks on politically exposed persons has become a source of concern for most observers, even as the major political actors continue to trade blames over the current tension beclouding the general elections. The first issue on today's edition of the program is centered on the current mood in the state, where the political titans are getting set for a duel. In neighboring Bayelsa State, the situation is not any different, as the PDP and the APC are both pointing accusing fingers at each other over the killings of party faithfuls in the state. We will take a look at the situation there. And moving on, we'll bring you an update on the lingering crisis over the control of Belemaoil field in Oil Mining Lease 25 in the Niger Delta. Recall that the host communities had in August 2017 halted operations in the oil field over alleged neglect, a development that has cost the country billions of dollars. And our last issue on the program today is a package on the commencement of work on a road project undertaken by indigenous oil giant Belemaoil Producing Limited to link Kula Kingdom and its environs directly to Port Harcourt by road. Well, all these issues will be at your disposal in just a moment. Don't go away.
Inside the Niger Delta.
Inside the Niger Delta, and Citia Associates Port Harcourt River State, in collaboration with Shekinah Institute, Santin Johannesburg, South Africa, presents the 10th edition of its annual International Strategic Management and Leadership Retreat, themed Strategies for Building Personal and Organizational Capabilities for Superior All-Time Performance. Date, Wednesday 20th to Tuesday 26th March 2019. Venue, Silver Oak Luxury Apartments, 120, 6th Road, Hyde Park, Santin. Workshop fee 950,000 naira to cover workshop participation, resource materials, certificate of participation, accommodation for 5 nights, breakfast inclusive, guided bus tour of Johannesburg and Soweto, visit the Sun City Resort and visa processing. For inquiries about participation, call Chris on 080-332-80242 or call Princess on 080-205-40134. Explore the world. Call now as entry closes by Monday, February 18th, 2019.
Welcome back. It's Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region. And our first port of call is the nation's treasure base, River State, Port Harcourt. If the election timetable of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, is anything to go by, River State will on the 16th of February and the 2nd of March this year join its counterparts across the country to elect a new governor and political representatives at the state and national assemblies. Ahead of the polls, however, are many political intrigues that will most likely shape the outcome of the elections in the nation's treasure base. In this report, correspondent Tekena Amilfori takes a look at the political mood preceding the next general elections in the oil-rich state.
Prior to the general elections, the prevailing mood in River State is defined by uncertainty, anxiety, and confusion. The arrowheads of an ensuing political fray ahead of the polls are the governing People's Democratic Party, led by incumbent Governor Nyesom Wike, and the All Progressives Congress, whose leader is former Governor Rotimi Amechi. Indications are rife that the estranged political allies and their supporters are in a crucial contest to demonstrate their political clout and will leave nothing to chance in their quest to clinch victory in the upcoming elections. The current political tension in River State is heightened by constant exchanges between the two dominant parties battling for the soul of the state. While the PDP alleges that the APC plans to deploy federal might to influence the outcome of the elections, the main opposition party in River State has equally accused the PDP of plotting to foment violence at the polls.
We have a fragmented opposition that is divided against itself, fighting to finish, as it were, by themselves. If you're not campaigning and you're sounding optimistic, it means you're planning to do some other thing. And what they're planning to do is to rig the elections, to write the results, but the people are already galvanized, ready, waiting. They will resist them.
We will not plan to destroy a state we want to repackage. Rivers State has lost a lot of grounds in the Committee of States. Our candidate is a brand. Pastor Toye Cole is a brand. He's a man of peace. He's come to change the old order.
Beyond the verbal attacks is a pervasive state of insecurity that has claimed several lives in the last 2 months. On the eve of Christmas last year, an APC stalwart, Jonah Chu, was shot dead by unknown gunmen in One, Eleme local government area. The tragic incident had occurred almost simultaneously with the killing of 5 APC members in Abua Odua local government area of the state. Few weeks after, in the month of January this year, Special Advisor to the Governor on Land Matters Dr. Anubum Onoha was kidnapped by suspected political mercenaries in Port Harcourt. Only recently, the camp of Governor Nyesom Wike was thrown into a state of agony following the killing last month of one Ekele Fineface Chico. The vibrant councillor popularly known as EFCC Chico was assassinated on his way back from a PDP campaign rally in Ahoda West local government area. The mounting insecurity is blamed on the desperation of the major political actors plotting to win the forthcoming elections at all costs.
If there is no peace, the people will not actually come out to vote. So many are afraid of their life. That's why they don't come out to vote. And we need these people's votes so we can actually have a good governance. So, and if they don't tackle that area before the election, I think there's going to be a problem.
The political tension in Rivers State is further heightened by controversies trailing the APC primaries that produced Senator Magnus Abe and Pastor Toye Cole, who was recognized by INEC until a federal high court sitting in Port Harcourt disqualified both camps from contesting the general elections on grounds that they did not follow due process. Dissatisfied with the court's decision, the Toye Cole faction had approached the appeal court for a stay of execution and successfully got a nod for the APC to participate in the forthcoming election. The party's chances of participating in the election, however, suffered a huge setback following the Supreme Court's decision to uphold the position of the High Court nullifying the APC primaries. The implication of the Apex Court's decision is that the APC will not find a space on the ballot, and some observers fear that this could further heighten the current tension witnessed in Rivers State. Expectedly, the misfortune of the APC has become a major campaign issue for the PDP, which is bent on having its arch rival out of the contest. The governing party in Rivers State is also embattled in the governorship race, as its candidate, Nyesom Wike, is a respondent in a suit seeking to disqualify him over alleged birth certificate forgery. While some observers of unfolding political events admit that elections have always been keenly contested in Rivers State, their submission is that the contest has never been as tension-soaked as it is in the present dispensation.
The problem we have in the election is INEC and police. If these two people can promise Nigeria and stand by their word, I think there will be free and fair election. Because if you allow free and fair election, everybody that is elected will be responsible to the electorate.
And we need that confidence to be shown where the electoral umpire is. We need to see them show more of the confidence that they are in charge and ready to actually deliver on election day.
In the midst of the controversies and confusion, INEC has indicated its willingness to abide by the decisions of the courts and provide a level playing field for all the parties and their candidates. For its part, the police has equally vowed to stem likely incidents of violence at the polls. The expectation is that the over 3 million registered voters across the 317 political wards in Rivers State will be empowered to use the power of their votes to freely choose their leaders in the forthcoming elections.
Inside the Niger Delta.
In neighboring Bayelsa State, the APC and the PDP are accusing each other of perpetrating violence ahead of the general elections. After an APC member was killed during an APC rally in Sagbama, Bayelsa State, former governor of the state and chieftain of the APC, Chief Timothy Silva, led a protest march to the Bayelsa State Police Command here.
We were doing a rally and they came with a vehicle and shot into a rally and killed 2 people. Nothing has happened. Now they've taken the law into their hand. They've killed again in Sagbama. Every day our people are being killed, and the police is not doing enough. The impression we have in APC is that the police in Bayelsa State is a PDP police.
In what looked like a counter-protest march, youth leaders of the People's Democratic Party also staged a protest march to the police command in Yenagoa, where they urged the police to halt what they described as cult-related killings, which also claimed the life of a PDP member in Fangbe recently.
The one at Fangbe, PDP member died in a PDP rally, and they informed the police. Why now APC mobilizing cult boys to their own rally, and these cult boys are from different cult groups, killing themselves? The governor has condemned the act. That's why we are calling on the governor to please bring back Operation Darkmo. Bayelsa is PDP and PDP is Bayelsa.
Exactly.
Yes. We don't want any crisis. Anybody who wants the vote of our people should go and begin to talk to our people to get your vote.
In his response, immediate past Commissioner of Police Bayelsa State, Aminu Saleh, promised that the police will investigate both incidences.
Some call it cultism, some call it political killings. But the most important fact about it all is that we are investigating. Perpetrators of evil and violence must be treated as such. Very soon we shall come out with the true position of the 2 incidences being mentioned.
While former Governor Timi Prisilva accused the police of working for the PDP in the state, Governor Seriaka Dixon, for the up-10 time, complained about the constant redeployment of police commissioners to the state in order to use the police to intimidate the ruling PDP in the state.
I've changed 9 different commissioners of police. They say, who can create wahala for this man? Who cannot be shaken? As I was coming, madam, for your information, I was called that a 10th commissioner of police is now coming. One will come, they will bring, they will see that that person cannot oppress us here, they will change another one. But the message we have for them is, if they like, let every hour they bring a new commissioner, they will fail in Bayelsa in Jesus' name.
Meanwhile, a coalition of civil society groups in conjunction with Save Bayelsa, Save Niger Delta Group have called for the prosecution of indicted politicians who perpetrated electoral violence during the 2015-2016 elections in Bayelsa State. The group, which addressed a press conference a few days ago in Lagos, said it was unfortunate that nearly 3 years after it submitted its report to relevant authorities, none of them had acted on it by prosecuting the election offenders. They lamented that these same persons were getting set again to unleash mayhem in the state. They observed that only the prosecution of offenders of the last elections in the state will serve as a deterrent to would-be election violence perpetrators. The controversy surrounding the sale, ownership and operation of one of Nigeria's most lucrative oil fields, the Belemaoil field OML 25 in Belema Community, Rivers State, may continue to linger for some time. This is because Nigeria's Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Dr. Ibe Kachikwu, who is supposed to be at the center of resolving the impasse, says he has no idea about the situation with OML 25. The oil field was forcibly shut in by SPDC in August 2017 when women from the host communities non-violently occupied the platform of the oil field to protest the planned sale of OML 25. These women are from Belema, Ofuyama, Ngeje and other surrounding communities, and they have been living on the Belema oil field platform since August 2017, when they non-violently forced Shell Petroleum Development Company SPDC to shut in the well. According to the women, their protest action was to force Shell to halt his planned sale of OML 25 to Cresta Nigeria Limited, which they believe will continue the exploitative operations of SPDC, which has operated in their community for the last 40 years without any contribution towards improving their well-being. They say Niger Deltans must be given the right of first refusal to the ownership and operations of the oil field. This shortened situation of the Belemaoil oil field has cost the Nigerian government, Rivers State government, and SPDC hundreds of millions of dollars. When we asked Nigeria's Minister of State for Petroleum, Dr. Ibe Kachikwu, about the situation with OML 25, his response was as baffling as it was worrisome.
I don't know the details of OML 25. I need to find out where OML 25 is. I need to find out what led to the shutdown.
Spokesman of the Pan-Niger Delta Forum, PANDEV, High Chief Anabs Ibe says Dr. Kachikwu's response can only mean that he was either being economical with the truth or he was just feigning ignorance.
He cannot say so where. He has written to us before PANDEV for a meeting, and we advised him to invite the communities. And he said, yes, everybody will come on his own. The community should pay their transport, their accommodation in Abuja. And we asked him to put it in writing. Besides, himself and myself we met in the villa. I will discuss this issue together, the way out of this crisis. So how can you now say he's not aware of Belemaoil being shut down?
Nigeria largely depends on crude oil earnings to run the country, and the Nigerian Ministry of Petroleum, through the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC), supervises all oil operations in Nigeria. Dr. Ibe Kachikwu, however, promised to look into the situation with OML 25.
But I will note it, and when I get back to the office, let me find out from NNPC what's so wrong. I think there's a joint MPDC.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so let me find out who is the operator, do you know? Who is
Shell used to operate in Kula shutdown. In Kula.
All
yes,
right.
in Kula.
Okay, let me find out details. I don't have details on this.
High Chief Ibe observed that Dr. Kachikwu's disposition towards the 18-month shut-in of OML 25 is suggestive of the fact that he may be working against the interest of the host communities of OML 25.
I think his interest is to give the place to Shell. Unfortunately, Ogoni has been shut down for many years. Government lose money. If that's the intention, the place will be shut down. As PANDEV, we want to make peace. But the people in government are not interested in peace. I think they have an agenda which I cannot see.
To resolve the crisis with OML 25, the leader of the Pan-Niger Delta Forum, Pa Edwin Clark, says Belemaoil Producing Limited, which has demonstrated capacity in its operations of nearby OML 55 and it's owned by a son of the soil, should be given the operational rights to OML 25.
Well, this Belemaoil is a continuation of our neglect, of feeling that who are they? We do not benefit from what is in our home. The other oil field, Shell wanted to give that oil field to non-indigenous of the place. And we said, why? The choice of refusal, first, should go to the native. If they are unable to do it, then you can go outside. So I am therefore appealing to the federal government to do something quickly so that this oil field has been closed for over 1 year by the people should be allowed to reopen. Give it to the man who had applied for it. We all support it.
Inside the Niger Delta.
Inside the Niger Delta, and Citia Associates Port Harcourt River State, in collaboration with Shekinah Institute, Santin Johannesburg, South Africa, presents the 10th edition of its annual International Strategic Management and Leadership Retreat, themed Strategies for Building Personal and Organizational Capabilities for Superior All-Time Performance. Date, Wednesday 20th to Tuesday 26th March 2019. Venue, Silver Oak Luxury Apartments, 120, 6th Road, Hyde Park, Saunton. Workshop fee 950,000 naira to cover workshop participation, resource materials, certificate of participation, accommodation for 5 nights, breakfast inclusive, guided bus tour of Johannesburg and Soweto, visit the Sun City Resort and visa processing. For inquiries about participation, Call Chris on 080-332-80242 or call Princess on 080-205-40134. Explore the world. Call now as entry closes by Monday, February 18th, 2019.
Residents of Kula town and their counterparts in other island communities of Akukutoru local government area in Rivers State now have cause to smile following the commencement of work on the 85-kilometer Muhammadu Buhari Kula-Port Harcourt Expressway. The road construction project, undertaken by indigenous oil giant Belemaoil Producing Limited, is expected to open the isolated Kula town and its environs for rapid development. Pursuant to the federal government's Road Infrastructure Development and Refurbishment Investment Tax Credit Scheme, President Muhammadu Buhari last month signed Executive Order 007, permitting private companies to fund the construction of major road and electricity projects in the country's 6 geopolitical zones. President Buhari, while promising tax and credit reductions for interested companies, had observed that the challenge of funding infrastructure was becoming too burdensome for the federal government to shoulder alone, hence the partnership with the resourceful and responsible companies operating in the country. This is a most welcome development for Belemaoil Producing, an indigenous oil giant which had long before this time planned to construct a road from Kula Kingdom, one of his host communities in OML 55, through Degema town to Port Harcourt in Rivers State.
This express road, dual carriage with three lanes each, and it's going to have many other facilities like security posts along the road and many other facilities like emergency response centers and other something like motels along the road, so that in case anybody moving, if you want to move, you are sure that first you have good road, then you are sure about your security and safety issue will be properly taken care of.
The ancient Kula Kingdom in Akukutoru local government area of Rivers State lies in isolation, very close to the Atlantic, and is surrounded by several rivers and their tributaries. Like Idama, Robert Kiri, and other neighboring communities, Kula has remained inaccessible by road from time immemorial, leaving the ordinary people with a difficult option of having to travel by sea to get in and out of their communities. The Muhammadu Buhari Kula-Port Harcourt Expressway will be constructed largely over water and mangrove swamp and will traverse several villages and communities up to Degema and Port Harcourt. Apart from the challenge of insecurity residents of Kula and environs have had to contend with on account of the isolated nature of their communities, development had equally remained far-fetched in the entire area until Belemaoil began operations in OML 55. The Muhammadu Buhari Kula-Port Harcourt Expressway project, which is at its preliminary stage, is viewed therefore by the communities as a dream come true.
I think this is a huge development for the entire Kula people. Kula people are looking forward to seeing this project within the shortest period of time being developed and then begin to use it. I will bet you that the youth in Kula will be the security to the contractors. I bet you. I know it as I know my name because we have been hoping for this all along.
The 85-kilometer dual carriage road, designed with 33 bridges, is expected to link all host communities of Belemaoil to Port Harcourt through Degema town, which is a few minutes drive from Port Harcourt, the Rivers State capital. The idea is to open up the entire area for development.
Because our communities are cut off, they are all an island. They are all islands unto themselves. But with this road, it's going to link up Idama, it's going to link up Robert Kiri, it's going to link up Lucky Land, it's going to link up Belema, it's going to link up Kula, and all of these places will be developed. Of course, you know that where there is a road network, there is faster development activities
Yeah, the essence is to open up the communities along that axis to the international community, have access to trade and investment along that axis.
Although Kula Kingdom and its neighbors are endowed with vast resources of crude oil and gas resources, they had remained largely underdeveloped, a scenario which Belemaoil is in a hurry to address with the provision of critical infrastructure in its host communities.
The most important thing about developing a society, a community, is having the vision. The president and founder of Belemaoil Producers Limited, Mr. Jack Richter, is a man with a vision, and a vision for his people and the Niger Delta and Nigeria at large. So this vision, which he has crystallized into something that is very tangible and is very audacious, but he believes that it's realizable.
The design of the multi-billion naira Muhammadu Buhari Kula Port Harcourt Road construction project also provides for a railway that will facilitate the industrialization of the oceanic communities where development was thought impossible before this time. It is expected to open up the entire area for investments and unlock the economic potentials of the area outside the oil and gas sector.
Inside the Niger Delta.
Well, that's the size of our package on this edition of the program. You can also stay connected by following us on our social media handles showing on your screen right now. Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region will be back same time next week. Until then, yours sincerely, Mahmoud Akuga, thanking you all for staying tuned. Bye for now.